Yeah, I won't show it.
I just took him to my station.
Yeah, that's fine.
Anything else?
No, I'm good. Thank you. Thank you. Love you too.
I'm gonna miss one more meeting.
That's fine.
I'm just gonna sneak in.
Okay, no worries. Where's the key to lock up? Okay.
So, how we doing, Martino?
We are doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. This is a great day. I was looking forward to this and just getting to chat with you a little bit.
Thank you. Me too.
I know this is it's been kind of one of those things where the only thing I'm chatting to are the mannequin heads. I mean, that's all I got.
Well, I mean, you see what I got. I got a closed salon, so I totally feel you.
I hear you. I hear you. It's it's one of those things that's affecting everybody these days, and definitely one of the things that we'll be talking about as we go. A lot of salons closed right now. It's kind of a bad situation,
It's very bad, and there are some salons that have been around for many years that are closing.
Right.
And the hairdressers are scared. The clients are scared.
Yeah.
It's just no one is exempt to this right now.
I know, and no one was able to really prepare for this either. Unfortunately, this is kind of one of those things that just pops up, and you find yourself in this situation. But yeah, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but restaurants too. I don't know if you were the type of guy that ate out a lot, but the restaurant business is suffering a little bit, and people are having a hard time with that as well. So
yeah, I definitely love to eat.
I bet your mom makes some good food, Martino. I bet your mom cooks up a wallop of a meal.
She does. I got two of them. They both cook good, and the girlfriend cooks good. So I'm being and a couple neighbors. I'm being fed very well.
You got the neighbors too in on the action?
I even got clients dropping off food. So I'm like, I'm definitely putting on a little bit of weight during the corona, and it's not from beer.
My God. Oh my gosh. Well, listen, I think everyone's going to feel that way right now because you're not doing your normal activities. You're not moving around. You're not doing all that stuff. So it's, it takes its toll. By the way, there were some comments. People were wondering what happened to the beard. Is this a new look or what are we doing?
So, I'm trying to share this as we're going. I can't do two things at once.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So
we'll give it a minute
thanks. I have played Jesus in a passion play for over 20 years. And last Easter, not this past one, the one before, I just kind of trimmed the beard down a little bit, and everybody said they liked it. So I was like, you know what? I'm like, I guess I'll keep it for a while. And then I got the comment, boy, I forget if I gave my driver's license to the TSA or something. And he said something to the sort of, this picture's old. And I was like, oh, and that was it. I was like, the beard came off, and now I'm getting the baby face again. So yeah, Jesus is gonna have to wait till next Easter to get a beard. So
maybe you could get a paste on one. We'll get you one, a beard wig.
Can you imagine? God bless us all.
Oh my gosh. Well, listen, you got to do what you got to do. You got to look believable. You got to play the part. So
yeah, no doubt.
So we just wanted to wait. We're letting some people kind of join us. So for those of you that have already joined, we're just going to wait a little bit until we get some people joining, because I know everyone's getting into tech and trying to work with this stuff. And I'll tell you, for me, it's been a big to do because I'm not really technologically savvy, but I'm learning. I'm getting there. So
well, I'm about as stupid as it gets when it comes to technology. I can't say the word, okay? So you can't be as bad as I am.
Well, you know what it is? I think this is my guess, because we're kind of cut from the same cloth. We're creative people. Everything we do with our hands. It's very physical. And you know what? It's not like we're behind a computer for our jobs primarily, and especially when you're doing hair every day. I mean, it's not like you're sitting there with a computer and figuring all this stuff out.
No, I think, look, give me a book and I don't want to read it, but common sense, I have. Book sense, I don't have, nor do I want. And my son, he's a lot like me. He's like a chip off the old block. And hairdressers are so creative and get these ideas and want to just run out of the gate like a horse on steroids and want to get it done now, don't want to wait. And the
Right.
other day, you guys were waiting for a call from me, and Mike Ferrer was texting me, and me and my son were out in the garage building shelves out of like plywood and 2x4s, and my buddy, who is actually a builder, comes over and he's like, "Wait a minute, you went out and bought a nail gun?" I'm like, "Yeah," and a circular saw, and everything was even and level. And it's just
Oh
because
my
I think
gosh.
creative people would rather be hands-on than learn how to turn Zoom on.
Well, yeah, I agree. And listen, when you're drilling and building, there's no app for that. You just got to do it. It's the only way.
From
But
sawdust to hair dust.
exactly. So I want to give a shout out to Kyle Neat, who's joining us from London, and we have Karen Felder. Karen, thank you. You watched last week, and we appreciate it. And your HairUWear family says hello. So thanks, guys, for joining us. Well, I guess I don't know, Martino. Should we get started? Let's kind of.
Yeah, I want to say hi to Doug. I want to say hi to Doug
Go for
Scheinel real quick. So Doug Scheinel,
Yeah.
big famous news reporter in Philadelphia, who did the weather one year at my house for Christmas. Doug, I'm sure you remember that. We had, in his words, they've got things that fly, float, sing, and go to music. And he did the weather in our yard. So we had a lot of fun back then with Doug Scheinel. So I'm glad he's on watching right now.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, hello. So obviously, Martino, look, you are very well known in the industry. Obviously, I mean, you've definitely been one of the people that's hung in there, and this can be a tough industry. It can be a very tiring industry, and all of that. But you always seem to have this amazing energy. You always seem up for the challenge. You're always ready to go. And from another salon professional to another salon professional, I want to thank you for always just really bringing a good name to our industry, and just for helping people the way you do, and also doing it every day.
I appreciate it. Thank you. It's it's almost selfish, I think, sometimes, because when I do something for somebody, it makes me feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So,
but I kind of think it's a law, right? Like I always say, yellow, blue, and green, no matter if you believe it or not, right? What goes up comes down, whether you believe it or not. Well, I was told by a psychologist one time that when someone like Serena Williams wins a tournament, right, her body releases this endorphin that gives you this euphoric feeling. That same endorphin gets released when you do a good deed. So that's why it's not a matter of opinion. And I think hairdressers are factual people. Usually they like facts, right? So it was funny this morning, I woke up and I was thinking about our high school, 550 kids that didn't get a prom, they didn't get to go on senior trip, and they don't get to graduate. And I was like, imagine working hard all these years and you don't get anything. So I reached out to our superintendent and I said, how many kids? And that's how I found out there were 550. So then this all happened in a matter of like an hour and a half. Then I called a friend of mine who owns 16 McDonald's. And I said, what would it cost me to buy a meal, like a value meal for 550 kids? And he said, for who? And I told him, and he said, I'll donate it. So now I'm pumped. Now I'm pumped. So then I call Chick-fil-A. How much would it cost for 550 value meals? They donated it. So within a matter of an hour and a half, I got 250 Kim Kardashian perfumes from my investor, Robert Crames at Horizon Beauty, to donate. We're going to donate 250 pomades for the guys. We have got a bar up the street famous called PJ's. They're donating a bunch of chicken wings. So these kids, when the principal is literally, God bless them, is going to go to every graduate's house. 550.
Oh, wow.
And they're going to get, there's so much more. I'm waiting for calls from other people. But so I called the superintendent. I said, I got a little surprise for you. And I got to tell you, I was on cloud 9 all morning, because when you do something good like that, it's impossible to feel the opposite way of the way you're going to make that person feel. And,
Right.
you know, I'm not exempt to the rule. People think, like you said, you know, you always have this energy, but there's many times that I am drained. You know, people
Sure.
say you always seem so happy, but there's many times that I am sad.
Sure.
So I just think you have to fight through them. Being a hairdresser,
Mhm.
it's a roller coaster of a lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
And only the strong survive. So that's kind of the way I
It's
live
true.
my life.
Well, I mean, I've read so many sayings, people like on, you know, these little things that pop up on Facebook and stuff. And it's really true. Like if you change your attitude and your perspective, and if what you do is making other people happy, you do somehow get that happiness back. And I've seen that tried and tried so many times, and it always comes back true.
So true.
You know,
So true.
but so I wanted to ask you, Martino, when in your life, when did you know that you wanted to do hair, that hair was a calling for you? When did that happen?
16 years old.
Okay.
16. That's when, so in high school, I was considered a pain in the ass pretty much, you know? And I didn't like school, hated to do homework, but my teachers and I got along really well. My administration, they loved me. I just was a pain and I didn't do my work and whatever. So one day my principal, who is no longer with us, his name was Ken Clifton. He said, I think you should go to vocational school because it'll get you out of high school half a day, kind of break up the monotony, and maybe then you'll be able to tolerate going to school. So I said, what am I going to do? What am I going to be, a plumber? What am I going to be, a builder? Like, what am I going to do? He goes, well, if you go to cosmetology school, it'll be you and one class of 30 girls. I said, okay, sign me up. Swear.
Done.
Swear. Like there's no golden spoon story to that. So by the time we go to sign up, the class was full. So the head of administration said, I can't enroll you. And I said, but you don't have any men, you have no boys in your class.
Mhm.
And swear to you, she said, and I love her, she was funny. She said, look, I can't put 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag. And I said, well, I'm not shit. And she laughed. She said, that was so quick. So she squeezed me in the class, and I hated it.
Oh, you did?
I hated it. I hated it with a passion. I hated the pin curls. I hated the finger waves. I hated the red perm rods for any of you that do hair. And my teacher and I, my teacher and I were like oil and water. It was a debacle. There's no beautiful story to it until the last year. And then that's when I realized how creative you could be. And once I got on the clinic floor, I realized the joy that I brought to these older women, that I was probably the only interaction they had in their life.
Right.
And then our last project was design a salon, how you would design it in a shoebox. So I had palm trees and zebra carpet and
a bar. You had a bar, right?
And my teacher was like, this is crazy, blah, blah, blah. Well, guess what? My first salon had zebra carpet. We had to vacuum it every 20 seconds, like stupid.
Oh, yeah.
But, and we had parrots. I had macaws, freaking big macaws, 7 of them in my first salon.
Oh, my God.
7. Because, you know, when I first started, in fact, Heidi Millward is watching right now. And she's one of my very first clients from 1998 when I had my first little itty bitty salon. And we'll talk about wigs and wishes later, but how we really became close and became friends is that I had given her a haircut. 6 months later, her son came down with a rare form of brain cancer. Oh. And, you know, I didn't have 2 pennies to rub together. And, but I wanted to help her. So I said, let's have a cut-a-thon. So I asked a couple local hairdressers to help, and the goal was like $5,000. And a couple people helped for a couple hours, but I cut hair for 2 days outside with signs, cut-a-thon, help a boy with cancer. And they made their checks payable right to Bobby's mom. That way everybody knew where the money was going. And then some people caught on to what I was doing, so they would make baked goods and bring it, and we sold them, whatever. Anyway, long story short, by the end of the second day, we raised somewhere around 22. I say we, it was myself. I didn't have any employees back then. I had like one shampoo girl.
Really?
We
Okay.
raised, yeah, $22,000 and change. And there's a video on YouTube with me dumping the bucket of money over Bobby's head. And
Oh my
it was
gosh.
so, what's so remarkable about this story is that Bobby's only wish was for his mom to stay home from work.
Mm.
But Bobby's mom was a single mom. So the money that I raised for her paid for the mortgage for 2 years. She was able to stay home with Bobby, and
Wow.
Bobby lived for 2 years.
Oh,
You follow me?
that's
Yeah.
amazing.
So
That is amazing.
yeah, and that's before I was the Martino Cartier that the world knows. That was when I
Right.
was this hopeless hairdresser that never thought I was going to make it, didn't know how I was going to get by, forget week to week, it was day to day.
Right.
And
Right.
then that moment when I met Heidi and Bobby, that changed my life forever.
Right. But you're right. You know, when you're starting out, you're building up a clientele, you're starting your business. It's very difficult. You're just hoping that every person that comes in, you know, you do a great job and they love you and they tell people, and that's how you grow. And that's how I think the natural evolution of it is having the craft, having the talent, the desire, and also giving back to your community is another great way, which obviously you do and you did.
Yeah, I mean, Heidi just commented. I don't know how to find it, but it just popped up that she commented, so I know she said something.
Oh,
But you know, and back then, you know, I didn't have the support of anybody back then. Today, I'm so fortunate. I mean, HairUWear has been a gigantic part of my purpose in this world of changing lives. I mean,
yeah.
HairUWear, when I first started out and wanting to make women look cancer free, I knew nothing about wigs. So I was finding wigs online in different places, and these wigs were the wigs that you see somebody walking around and you're like, oh, look at that wig,
Right.
you know?
Right.
And I'm like, there's got to be more to this.
Right.
There's
When you
gotta
see
be
that,
something.
when you see that, you get really discouraged. You're like, oh my gosh, like what are these people going to do? Because, you know, as a hairdresser, you want it to look as real as possible.
Right,
And
but you've been doing hair for how long, right? A long time, right?
yeah, let's not talk about how many decades.
All right, fine. But I guarantee you, and if you're a hairdresser on here now, be honest. Ask yourself, do you know how to do a wig? And would you know how to do a wig on a woman that has been your client for 10 years, 5 years, 15 years, has trusted you with all her secrets? You've trusted her. You two have a bond. Now
Right.
she has cancer and you don't know how to help her. That's what I found out. That's what I found. And then that beautiful day came when I found Raquel Welch wigs from HairUWear.
Yeah.
And now I get to make thousands of women look cancer free for free every day.
Yeah.
That's not a plug. That's the truth. That's the real life. That's my Instagram. That's what we post all the time. And, you know, the owner, Michael, who is so generous, you know, he has given us, I don't even know. I don't even want to guess, because it's hundreds, if not thousands of wigs. Plus, you know, we buy hundreds and actually thousands of wigs through the years for these women. And you know, he still gets moved by the transformation of these women looking cancer free. So
absolutely,
you know, today, this is a true story. I'm sitting here today over at one of the stations, and I was doing a Zoom meeting with United Hatzalah, which is an Israeli nonprofit that saves lives in Israel. And I got off the Skype and I thought to myself, should I go home or should I just sit here and wait to have this meeting with Frank? So I sit here and I let the piano play. I was playing Frank Sinatra, and it's crappy out anyway. And this lady pulls up. You can't make it up. Of all days that we're having, this lady pulls up. Now, the whole state of New Jersey's closed. The lady pulls up. She has a mask on. I think maybe she works for the town. I'm going to get in trouble for being here. She comes in and I said, can I help you? And she said, I'm here to get a wig. And she had hair. So I said, well, you know, we're really not allowed to be open. And she said, but I have cancer. Just like put my head down.
Right.
So I said, at first I was just going to give her my girlfriend's email because Gianna sends all the wigs that we order from HairUWear out to the rest of the country for cancer patients. And then I said, do you want your hair to look like it looks like now? She goes, yes, because look, and she went like this and she had clumps of hair.
Yeah.
It took everything for me not to cry for this poor woman by herself in here. I can't help her. So we have a couple hundred Raquel Welch wigs that we keep in stock. And I knew right away that it was pale golden honey, upstage, perfect for her. I put it on, I went in the back, I brought it out. I said, please do not tell Governor Murphy that I did this or he'll have me arrested. And I came out and I put it on the head and she started to cry. And she said, that is exactly what I wanted. She said, how much is it? I said, how much is it? I said, we don't charge for wigs for cancer patients. That woman, literally hyperventilating, sobbing, weeping, like just weeping. And I put it in a bag for her. I gave her a free wet brush because Wet Brush is another company that donates unlimited wet brushes for cancer patients for us. And that woman said to me, when this is over, I am coming back just because I need to give you a hug. You have no idea how you changed my life today.
Right.
And that would have never happened had I not met HairUWear, had we not built this relationship, and had I not met Heidi Millward in 1998, which is what inspired me and gave me this awakening that hairdressers have a gift. And if you realize you have a gift, when times like this happen, you won't get in a rut. Yes, you'll have bad days, but you'll get out of them. Yes, you'll be sad, but you'll get happy again. But it's the ones that, when I used to work for Keratin Complex, we would do these motivational events. And I did it for Brazilian Blowout too, because it was really about the hairdresser, not the brand of the product at the time. And I always said there's two types of hairdressers. There's pigeons and there's eagles. And it's real easy to find out which one you are, you know? So, and you know, you can say there's pigeons and eagles in any walk of life. But so when I would do the trade shows, and we still do, I would say, what's a pigeon? What do they do? And hairdressers will scream out, you know, peck, poop, you know, walk around, make a mess. And then what do eagles do? They soar, they go through the storm, they don't run away from the storm. So how do you relate that to hairdressers? So, well, let's talk about the pigeons. The pigeons are the ones that are shampooing at the back bar and they're like, do you believe he did that to me? Like, he's such a jerk. Like, I just can't, you know, that whole thing, you know? Or the one that answers the phone and she's like, thank you for calling Martino Cartier Salon. Hold, please. Click, like you're calling a pizza place. You know, those are the pigeons, the ones that sit in the back room. Yeah. I mean, they sit and complain about their salon owner, and that's why they're not busy. Or they complain about the shampoo girl, and that's why they're not busy. It's everybody but themselves. Those are pigeons. So I always would say at these motivational events, the next time you do any of those things, just go, and you'll quickly remember that you need to be the eagle. So what does the eagle do? They stay out of the back room. Pretend it's got COVID-19. Stay out of it. Don't go in your back room. When you're at the back bar, remember that client that was there last time. Ask her, how's her cat doing? Ask her, is her mom feeling better? Ask her, did she like the color last time? Don't talk to the person next to you. And then for the receptionist, how about you say, thank you for choosing Martino Cartier Salon. Would you mind if I place you on hold, or would you like a call back? It's just going that extra mile. And then my favorite is the hairdresser. The hairdresser that says, I'm booked 6 weeks out. Get rid of your license, Joan Rivers, okay? Because that's not how you built your book, right? You built your book by being dedicated, staying late, coming in early, going over backwards, and bending, doing whatever they needed. And if you've lost that vision, then let this awakening time bring you back to when you bought your first pair of good shears, right? You would clean them off every time, put oil, put them back in the thing. 6 months later, you just chuck them on your station. So it's like we all can get pigeonized a little bit, if you will. But if you just remember why you became a hairdresser and the gift that we have, now is an amazing time to reinvent yourself. Now is an amazing time.
Absolutely. You know, it's always it's you got to keep in mind, or I think you have to keep in mind, it's always about the people that you're reaching, and it's about them. And I think if you keep that focus you will be better for it. And I know, listen, you mentioned HairUWear, you mentioned the wigs that we do. I mean, we have a great team. Everybody is in this because we do care about the business. We care about the people who need wigs. We care about what they're going through, and we're always trying to strive to reach more people and to be better at what we do. And Michael always says, be better. That's our motto, is be better. So maybe we did something good last year, but hey, let's think, what do people need? What is going to please people? And so we're always going for that. And I mean, I can tell you as from the design side, like you said, there's a bunch of wigs out there, you see them and you just go, oh my gosh. But from the design side, I'm always looking at these saying, how can we improve them? How can we make them look more real? How can we make them more current, more fashionable, and better to wear? Because just because you have thinning hair, or just because you're going through cancer, or you should not have to compromise how you look and how you feel about yourself.
Listen, there's a video on my YouTube channel called Footprints in the Sand, and it's a young mom named Michelle with 2 little kids, and she's wearing Simmer, and she's on the Spider-Man ride, Superman ride in Ocean City, New Jersey, with her kid fighting breast cancer with Simmer on her head on the Superman ride.
Right.
And if you watch that video, Footprints in the Sand, that wig is flowing. It doesn't come off, and there's nothing to clip it to. She's completely bald. Now she's cancer-free, thank God.
Right.
And, her hair is growing back. But, again, I would not even want to take the challenge of helping women look cancer-free unless it really made them look cancer-free. It's not just about giving them a free wig. And listen, my CEO, who's my investor, he's my business partner, he's my friend, Robert Crames, like you said about Michael, same thing. He's a mensch, these are just people that would never hurt anybody, never cross anybody. And it's just about doing good. And it's just called karma, and Carmella's my VP of sales. And, the whole HairUWear team knows who Carmella is. She's always at HSN. And, there's just not a bad bone in her body. And I think if you surround yourself with those type of people, you can't help but succeed. There's that saying, greatness is contagious, and if you're around it, you'll catch it. If you live in Mexico, you're going to speak Spanish. If you live in Italy, you're going to speak Italian, right? So these are laws. These are laws. This is not my opinion. So for us, when I knew that we had to shut down from COVID-19, let me tell you, I had to be a wall, a tower, for my 42 girls that were freaking out and panicking, and so can
we talk about that a little bit? I want to know, because obviously, like everybody else, all of a sudden you hear we're going on this shutdown, and you're thinking, okay, I got my salon, I got my employees, I got my customers, and I got to shut this whole thing down. And so tell me, what was your first reaction, and what did you do then once you did go into the lockdown phase?
My first reaction is, what the hell are we going to do?
Right.
And I couldn't show my staff the fear that I had inside me, because no great leader can show the army behind them the fear. You just can't. So first I said, okay, we have to survive. Only the strong survive. So I said, we're going to do, well, let me make a long story short. My girlfriend had saw that people were making at-home color kits and mixing the color, and you had to come get it and run home and get it on before it oxidized.
Right, because we know that happens.
Yeah, and I'm like, that is the dumbest idea I've ever heard in my life. What if someone lives 15 minutes away? By the time she gets home and puts something down so she doesn't look like she finger painted her bathroom, and it's a nightmare.
Yes.
Then I woke up the next day and I said, let's buy Jello shots, and let's put 20 volume in one. Let's put her formula in the other. Let's seal it, rubber band it, send her home with a paintbrush, gloves, a bowl, and a big wooden skewer to make clean sections.
Oh my gosh, even that?
And a popsicle stick to mix it. What to do, what not to do. Okay.
That is awesome.
Well, I'm glad you thought it was awesome because 99% of the industry thought I lost my mind, that I would lost my integrity.
Why?
We'll get to it. So
Okay.
and even my staff was not on board in the beginning until it's a lot of work to do this. I give my girlfriend all the credit.
yeah.
So imagine if you have 3 different colors in your formula.
Right.
And how are you going to batch it down? Because we're only doing enough for your your hairline and your part.
Right.
How do you batch down 1.5 ounces of 3 colors to a 1/2 ounce? It's a lot of work. And then how do you mix it evenly so that if they only use half of it now and half of it in 2 weeks, that they're getting a consistent formula? It's a lot
I'm
of
using
work.
the whole thing. I'm using the whole thing. I'm
Well,
not going to say that the whole thing is going on.
Well, we charge $60 for a 1/2 ounce, and these people wanted to save it. So Gianna we use Millennium, we use Mevo, and we use Sure Tint. And with Sure Tint, our color is mixed like Home Depot paint. You can't mess it up. Once that formula is in there, it's the hit of a button. Like, we have all the greatest technology that a salon can have. So because of Sure Tint, she was able to batch it down, put this inside of a color bottle so it would stand up straight, take the plunger out, the colors would go in. She then would take a wooden skewer. She'd mix them, pound it, and get all the air bubbles out, whatever. So hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, if not maybe almost 1,000 now, color kits have gone out. We do them on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays. So I'm getting backlash by God knows how many people on Facebook, and I'm not political. I only ranted once in my life on Facebook, and it was about Governor Murphy. So that's as far as it goes. I don't like drama.
I understand.
And then the day came, Robert Cromies, who we all know is like Vidal Sassoon of our time. His wife called me and said, "Oh my beeping God. Me and Robert think you are beeping brilliant. Please tell me how you're doing it, where you got it, blah, blah, blah." So that really boosted my morale, that they, thought enough to call me and praise me like that. And then the clients started coming. And who was crying because they thought that they were going to have to go to Zoom meetings looking like this. They didn't want to use box color and destroy their hair. Who was bringing us food, who was buying us gifts. And now, all of a sudden, 99% of salons in America are doing at-home color kits.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
It's
you set the precedent, Martino. So that was good. It's anytime you do something that's a little different, a little out of the ordinary, right? It's a lot of times people can't grasp it, and you're going to get some slack for it. But you know what? You did something because it made sense to you and it made sense to your customers, and that's what it's all about.
Sure, and I got to tell you, I have FaceTimed or at least phone called dozens of salon owners all over the country that are calling and asking questions. How are you doing it? Where can I get the Jello shot? So listen, we're in this together. We're a team. This isn't Martino against the other salon owners. This is a time for us to unite. So we have all of the big salons in New Jersey have formed like a group, and we're going to have the same guidelines so that our staff understands this is a team of salons. Yes. We're going to be safe. We're going to be clean. We're going to, all the things that we're going to do. We're working with the government. So I feel horrible for all the people that have lost their lives and for all the people that are fighting. Of course. But some good came out of the ashes, and I think it has united people.
Yeah, and I think you're doing the right thing, and that's what when we set up HairUWear Cares, having these conferences and having these little chats, it was to reach out to people too, because we were not able during our using our regular channels as we were before, trade shows, HairUWear on the road, which provides 2-day educational training. We weren't able to do this, so it's like how do we reach the people that have been so loyal and so good to us as a company, and that are asking for help and want to know what other people are doing. So HairUWear Cares was born. And so I do want to talk to you about, because you have the salon, and so you're unique because you have the salon and then you also do wigs. And so I was curious, so when you do your wigs or people that need wigs, do you have do you book them on different days, different appointments, or do they come in with everyone else, or how do you how do you
They
kind
come
of?
in with they. It's evolved to something different now. They come in all the time, and it's almost like a doctor's office here. When I
Mhm.
started out, people would be very angry when they had to wait. They wanted to get in and they wanted to get out. Now, people don't care. They just want to get in, whatever it takes. And when a woman starts to lose her hair,
Mhm.
she wants that wig as soon as possible. So
Oh yeah.
we don't tell them no. We let them know that if there's no opening, there's never openings, but there's no openings. But as long as you're okay with waiting, come on in, and
Right.
we work them in between.
Now, I'm sorry,
Ideally,
Martino. Do you
sure.
do the wigs? Do you do the wigs, or do you have someone else that is also trained with the wigs to work with them?
We do have a couple other people that are trained, but I do most of the wigs myself.
Okay.
And
Okay.
sometimes I'll do if I have 40 some clients in a day, 12 of them are cancer patients.
Right. So you're obviously, obviously a destination for someone who knows they need to be replacing their hair for whatever reason. Do you guys do? I know you do like for cancer patients, right? So we have the full wigs. How are you with the, as a salon and your salon employees as well? Are you guys getting into like the top of heads? Are you guys getting into like hair pieces, or are you mostly just focusing on the wigs right now at this time?
I'm really just focusing on the wigs because it's really all I have time for between the
Right.
Martino by the Martino Cartier hair brand, the salon, wigs and wishes. There are people that come in and want a top piece once in a while, and we'll get them or a clip-on bang. But no, my focus is on the wigs. For the wigs, it's strictly cancer patients.
Right.
Sometimes a woman will come in because have seen me on HSN and she wants a wig just because she wants a wig, and I'm not going to turn this little lady from Pasadena away,
Right.
but we definitely don't advertise it. It's strictly cancer patients, and none of
Right.
them are charged. They're
Right.
all free.
Right. So someone mentioned on the comments, they said, well, how are you able to give away wig shops here who are not able to do that? And
Mhm.
I'm saying it's because, you do have the Wigs for Wishes Foundation, and you do get donations from that you're able to give to your
Right,
customers.
but
So
but it's been 10 years ago that I started it.
yes.
How did I give the first free wig away? I bought it, and it only takes one. So you
Hmm.
buy that first wig, you put it on that woman, you're going to sleep well that night because you changed her life, and then you're going to start to raise money. If you own a salon, it's very simple. We have over
Yeah.
300 locations that are a part of Wigs and Wishes. When you ring up a client at your front desk, you say, would you like to donate $1 or more to allow a woman to look cancer free with a free wig? They don't say no. So
Right.
that started to build,
Right.
and then it started to build, and then Wella donated $5,000. Now they give 20,000 every year. Then Paula Abdul joined our board, and then we have our
Right.
big gala every year. But it didn't
Hmm.
start
Right.
that way. Like my
Right.
salon didn't start out with 4,000 square feet and 33 stations and
Of
8
course.
sinks and a baby grand piano. My salon started with 3 little chairs and no money. But
Of
everything has
course.
to start somewhere.
Right. So I think it's important, and I'm glad you shared that, because if you are, you have almost like an expanded network that you work with, and I think that's inspiration for a lot of people. And of course, now if you're just like a wig salon, right? Of course you have to charge because you don't have that big expanse, and
It's a different model. If you're just a
yeah,
wig store, it's a different model. Now, maybe if you're a wig store and you want to do something good, maybe you give X amount of wigs a year away to strictly
right.
cancer patients, or be creative. But like for us, it was just it used to be Marianne and Friends, because we started this when I was on the cutting council of Intercoiffure. The vice president, Marianne McCormick, had breast cancer. So I said, since we're Intercoiffure, the top 3% of salons in the
Mhm.
world, we're 1,200, 1,500 people strong. Why
Yeah,
don't we change lives in honor of
right.
Marianne? Well, it grew so quick, it became Friends Are By Your Side. And then most people know the story. I met this little girl named Kiki. She was turned away by Locks of Love. She was turned down by Make-A-Wish. And we were so green back then. But we got her a wig and we granted her a wish to meet Justin Bieber. And she passed away 7 days later. And
Mm,
that's when Friends Are By Your Side became Wigs and Wishes. So then Salon Cloud,
gotcha.
yes. So Salon Cloud is an incredible technology company for any business under the sun. And they focus on salons and apps and geotagging and things like that. But they developed a website for us where if a salon wants to join, it puts them on a map. So you're in Kansas City, your salon joins Wigs and Wishes. You make a vow to never charge a woman for a wig going through cancer. You raise money. You send Wigs and Wishes the money. We send you the wigs from HairUWear when you need a wig for one of your clients that finds you on our website, because if they put in a Kansas City zip code, it's going to bring up you. Now, what happens? It sounds like a lot, 300 people, but it's not a lot when there's millions of women diagnosed with cancer every year. So thank God, HairUWear also drop ships for us. So every day, the poor team at HairUWear gets bombarded with at least 10 to 15 emails that Gianna deals with the woman. And it's very simple. When a woman has cancer, all we need is a letter of diagnosis and a photo ID. That's it. There's no approval. You should see some of these emails. Like, I've tried this and I've tried that. And
I know.
Oh, it's gut wrenching. Like, just they're going through enough. Give them the gift of looking cancer free.
Yeah. No, it's a wonderful thing. And it's, like we were saying, especially for wig shops, it's a blessing to be able to do that for somebody, because I know you've changed a lot of people's lives through it. And I think it's sometimes important to remind the people who have the wig shops, who are focusing on that, how important they are to people and how important the work that they do is. A lot of times you don't see it, but you just got to believe it, and you just have to know it.
Listen, I'm telling you, Frank, I can't tell you how many times a woman will walk in here like she's going to a viewing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's about what it's like.
Right.
And then she leaves like somebody just got engaged. Like, she comes in crying, sad, broken, bruised, battered, beaten, leaves so overjoyed that now she's crying because she's happy.
Yeah.
And it's so rewarding. I mean, it's just, there is no way to describe that feeling, and when we started the Martino by Martino Cartier, and I partnered with Horizon Beauty up in New York, Horizon Beauty Group, which is Robert Crames, I mentioned him before. They didn't hesitate for a moment. They were like, this is perfect. They want to give back. People want to give back. But the thing is, see, I look at it different. I don't have a private room where I bring her in like she's got corona and I give her tissues and then let's cry together. No, I crank the music up, turn the chair, your back's to the mirror, your hair comes off, your wig goes on. Before you can blink, you're turned around and you look cancer free. And they go, oh, and it's just, I want it to be happy as it can be.
Yes,
and if they have kids, we do a mohawk party, and we shave a mohawk first and spike it all the way up. And now she came in crying and she's laughing and she's got a mohawk and she's still laughing,
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because I feel like sometimes, you know what your clients look like when they leave the salon. But I, even as a designer and working with the wigs, like when I see a wig, sometimes I'm like, this is better than anybody's real hair. Like, it's better. The style is gorgeous. It stays. And I mean, I think for so long, we have, because we imagine wigs a certain way, but we imagine that going through that that horrible stage where you're in between and you're losing your hair, or even if you're just thinning hair, or your hair just doesn't do what you need it to do. We always think about wigs as being these awful, hot, old-fashioned things, and
because that's what wigs used to be. That's what wigs used to be. And your team at HairUWear, they must be they're gonna block me on their email, because I keep getting all these emails from women at HSN, and they share with you their story, and they share with you their transformation and how happy they are. And I'm like, should I send it to Ellen? Should I send it to Mike? Because I don't want to overload them, but I get so excited. And Carmela, like my VP, but I was on the phone call the other day. I got off air at HSN, and this woman sent me this long email, and I hate to type. And sometimes Siri doesn't understand me. Siri's so stupid, right? So I'm like, let me just call this woman because she had put her number. So she's like, hello. I said, hi, it's Martino from HSN. It was like Elizabeth on Fred Sanford. She's like, oh my God, oh my God. And I'm like, what? I'm like, I want to answer your questions because I'm really in it for the passion. Like you're in it for the passion. And that's why when we did the Martino brand and
Right.
my business partners let me put Wigs and Wishes on all the packaging and on all the products and donate from it to the charity because it's a team. We're all a team. Carmela is constantly pushing Wigs and Wishes. And, you know, she's in New York, so it's easy for her. We've been in so many big publications and different news. We were on USA Weekly yesterday because Carmela and the PR team are constantly pushing Wigs and Wishes. And it just somehow flows together like a nice symphony, you know?
Yeah, it's very nice. I mean, it's wonderful to be able to do that. And you know, I think right now, like what is on everybody's mind though is like, okay, well, first of all, I know that you do a lot of social media. I know you post a lot, and I think that's you can speak to a little bit for our salons, our wig shops out there who maybe aren't so used to that. I mean, what impact has social media had on your business, and also during this time where everyone's been shut in? How have you been reaching out to your customers and keeping contact with them while you've been closed, you know?
Well, so right now, the clients are panicking. Clients are panicking and the stylists are panicking, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the perfect solution for two panicking people is to bring them together. So how do you bring them together? You bring them together through social media. So Easter and Passover, we did a jib jab with all the employees and sent it out to all the customers. Happy Passover, happy Easter. And they loved it. They loved it, right? So then you're seeing people make signs and posting them, right? It's just, you have to stay in contact with them. Don't forget them. Many of them, you're the only joy in their life. Think about it, right? And then for the hairdressers, so hairdressers don't like technology, as we both know. I don't, you don't, and my team doesn't. But I said to them, guys, we got to stop with these multi-group chats, the texts that you only fit so many employees and people are missing stuff. We have to get on a Zoom and get on an email. So we're doing that. And we're also going to start having meetings of 10 people because you're allowed to have 10 people.
Okay,
10 feet apart. So we're going to start doing that, bring them in teams of 10, get everybody pretty much on the same page. And then we're going to go into our Zoom meetings and talk about what we're going to do to be COVID-19 ready when we do eventually open.
Right. Now, what are your state guidelines right now for that? Like, what have you heard anything yet, or?
Put a rope around your neck. That's the guideline. There is no guideline. Don't open. Today, he just extended it another 30 days.
Okay. Because you're where again? I'm sorry. You're
New Jersey.
You're New Jersey. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So.
But I am South Jersey. Like I'm near Philadelphia, New Jersey.
That's okay. That's why I'm on the.
Yeah, New Jersey's as long as the United States of America, as Sarah Palin would say. I mean, it's really like such a long state. And, you know, we're nowhere near. I'm 2 hours away from where it's really bad.
Right.
But anyway, I was going to say another thing that we're doing, and I just did this video. I posted it a couple of days ago. It already has 43,000 views. And I only did it in our area. It's not like, the whole whatever. But the clients want to see what you're doing to get ready for them. And, you know, you don't have to have a big budget to make a big change. Right. So I think salon owners should be doing things to make it exciting for your staff to come back. I think you should be doing things to make it exciting for your clientele to come back.
Right.
And I just think that.
I'm sure. Look, I know you've remodeled your salon during this time, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you know, even for other people who aren't going through a remodeling process, which is a great thing to do while you're closed, what better time? You know, change your window displays up, change your shop around, change the furniture around. You know, I have a friend of mine, I think I mentioned before, who's in Kansas City, and Edward, and he's always changing the look of and feel of his wig salon. He changes the furniture around, and he puts different magazines out, and he changes the displays, and you've got to keep it fresh, I think.
But he's smart, because you think about it. You are a department store for hair.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if Saks Fifth Avenue never changed their window? Could you imagine if Louis
Right.
Vuitton never changed their window?
Right. Excellent point. That's exactly it. You know,
Mhm.
and so I think, you know, if we're still on lockdown, I know different states are opening up at different times, but this is the time to kind of go into your space, I think, look at it and maybe say, how can I reinvent this? And it doesn't have to be, I don't think, with a big budget. You don't have to have oodles of money pouring into do it. I think it's like we're talking about, change the displays up, move things around a little bit. And when your clients come back, it's got a refreshed feel to it. You know, I know your clients are
Mhm.
going to have a nice surprise when they come back.
I
So
can't wait for my clients to come back. There was a question from Jen Gullo who wants to know how to get started with on helping clients or patients with. Told you I can't do two things at once. How do I get out of this chat?
that's all
Um,
right. You'll find it.
yeah, how to help cancer patients. Just go to wigsandwishes.org and you can find everything that you need to learn. And thank you for your interest, because I'm telling you, my saying is, if you don't know how to give, you don't know how to live, and it'll change your life. You have to remember, I was given up for adoption, came, I hate to do this to you. Um, Robert, I was just talking about you on a live Facebook Zoom and you're on speaker. Can I call you back?
Yeah, I just wanted you to know the Sully thing is done.
Oh, you're the best. And I'm talking about you right now on Facebook Live and you're on speaker. I'll call you later. Bye.
Yeah, before he said anything wrong, Martino, you should have.
Yeah, jeez. But anyway, so what was I saying before Robert called?
You were talking about how excited you are for the salon, for your clients to come back
For
into the salon, and
yeah. So look, I want to show you. So let's see. So this chandelier is brand new, and then that chandelier is new. And we did a lot of branding of Wigs and Wishes. If you don't know how to give, you don't know how to live. We branded all the mirrors. We've got the freestyle dryers that turn on by themselves. So there's no cords. We did all new cabinets, low profile, complete new way to have a back bar. There's no backsplash. There's dispensaries on the sides to get your shampoo. Let's see, give a woman the right hairspray, she can conquer the world.
ain't that the truth?
Ain't that the truth? Then little Gucci wallpaper. We redid the processing area, new countertops, more chandeliers, and yeah. So, oh, these color cards are pretty cool. They're from Minerva Beauty. I'll show you this real quick.
Very nice.
These color cards are so
Fun.
innovative. Yeah. So look how they slide up. I mean,
Okay.
how cool is that?
That is cool.
Yeah. So it's just
okay,
been,
but Martino, I don't see
Yeah.
any polyurethane partition walls though. What what are you gonna do?
Yeah. So we're gonna go into split shifts. We've got 33 stations. Yeah, 33 stations, and we're gonna go into split shifts so that people are gonna be every other station. We have 8 sinks. We're gonna use every other sink. We're gonna open 7 days a week. We're gonna open longer hours. So
Right.
yeah, yeah, and we have shields coming for the front desk. We have a great thing something so simple that I learned online. You could take 2 tablespoons of regular bleach to 1 gallon of water, and it is the best disinfectant you're ever gonna find, ever gonna use. Kills corona in 2 minutes, and
Yeah.
it's so inexpensive. So
Yeah. My
we
mom
did
told me
that.
to do that. My mom told me to do that. My house smells like bleach,
Smart.
but it's clean.
Hey, that's a good point though, right? When the clients come in, you want them to smell that it's clean, right?
Yes.
So when we reopen, we will hopefully people will have our app downloaded. So when they're 100 feet from the front door, we get an alert that they're coming in the parking lot. We'll let them know when it's their time to come in. There's sanitizers at the door that are touchless, so they can clean their hands. Everything's touchless. They won't have to touch anything to check out. It'll be all through their phone because
Right.
of our app, which with Salon Cloud. And we have extra cleaning people that we've hired so that, the bathroom will get disinfected after each and every use, the door after every time it gets opened. Hopefully it'll be nice enough to leave the door open. But we're ready. We have
Yeah.
thousands of disposable masks, for our clients to be able to wear so that they don't get color on their own. Just things like that,
Right. Right. Like I think, I'm glad you said that about the mask, because I think one of the things that's like important is, let's say you're nervous about coming in into any kind of business now, right? And you're worried about your health and you're wearing a mask, but you see nobody else wearing a mask. You kind of feel like, does anybody else care? So I think having the mask there is good because it does give another level of confidence and at least participation by everybody, very important for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. And listen, did you see a hairdresser just went to jail for a week for opening her salon when she wasn't supposed to? So they're not messing around. And
No, they're not.
they're going to be checking on our salon. They're going to, and it's not the state board. Forget the state board. It's going to be local officials that are going to be coming around to make sure that we're staying to 10 people per 1,000 square feet. We're almost
Right.
4,000 square feet. We're allowed to have 38 people in here at a time,
Okay.
including staff and workers. So it's not a lot when normally we're doing 170 some people a day. It's not, we're going to really be
Right.
having to spread this out,
Right. Well, it's obviously it's an adjustment, and I think people are just anxious to be able to reach their clients again and get people in. That even if you have to go at a slower pace, hey, we all have to do what we have to do right now.
We do. And listen, another good thing to do right now is do tutorials for your clients, like things that you think they know. Trust me, they don't. For example,
Right.
every time a new client comes into the salon, I explain to her that when your hair is hot, it's soft. When it cools down, it's hard again. They're like, what do you
Right.
mean? And I say, well, when you take your round brush and you're lifting up and it's hot, if you don't let it cool down in that upright position, gravity's just going to make it flat and you did all that work for nothing. And
Right.
9 out of 10 times they say, no one's ever told me that. So the reason it's so important for your clients to know how to replicate what you do is because, I don't know if you can see it on the wall back there, but we trademarked, when you look good, I look even better. So if your clients aren't walking around looking good, no one's going to say, oh my gosh, who did your hair? So
Always.
that brings,
Always.
right? So that brings me to why the tools that we make at the Martino Cartier brand for HSN are all for women to be able to do their hair easy, right?
Of
So
course.
like this is a new tool called Trifector. So you turn it one way and it becomes a regular clip curling iron. You turn it the other way, I'm trying to do it in the mirror, it becomes a flat iron. You turn it the other way, it collapses and it's just a curling rod. So it's 3-in-1. It's easy for her, and
Right.
then there was a woman who said, I want something compact. So this is the tug and curl. You tug it, it turns on. You're
Right.
done, you put it away. The heat blade, this allows women to straighten even the craziest, thickest, curliest hair in one simple
Yeah.
task. We have, I don't know if you've seen her use it on HSN or not before, Brandy.
I have.
Her hair is this big, and
Can I tell you, Martino, I actually use that on wigs that the synthetic fiber sometimes gets a little matted sometimes in the back because of the friction.
so do I.
So
Yep.
for the true to life fiber, that just really smooths through there, and it makes it's a wonderful tool. I think every wig shop should have one on hand because it's a great smoothing
These
tool
are amazing for wigs.
and
Amazing.
great for human hair wigs as well, outside of synthetic hair
Yeah.
wigs. So that is a good tool because it just glides through the hair. Obviously, that's why it's made that way. But the tools and the implements are very important as well, and caring for your hair. Now the trifecta iron, does that have heat settings on there? Like, can you control the temperature on that?
Yeah, you can. It goes it's from 370 is the lowest and 400 is the highest.
Okay. The reason why I'm asking is because we can heat style our heat friendly fiber wigs up to 350 degrees, so
That's right.
could be easily used
Yes.
on that without having to worry about damaging the fiber.
I would not use the tug and curl. I wouldn't use the tug and curl on a heat friendly wig, but definitely the trifecta. And it's easy because this is seamless at the cool tip. So you can wrap the heat friendly fibers, drop them right into your hand, let them cool down, and then you're going to have that wave.
Yeah. I mean, look, the tools are important, right? Because they help us do what we need to do. I see so many times like women taking, or even shops taking like a regular, like the boar bristle brushes with the metal barrel or the ceramic barrel that you blow dry and round brush the hair with, like using those on a wig. And to be honest, those are not meant for a wig. They're too much stretch. They're meant to stretch the hair and form the hair. You need like a wire brush. And, so the implements are, no matter what you're trying to do, what you're trying to create, are so important. And, obviously when you create something, it's something that you're going to use. And so you put the thought into it, which is a nice thing.
The thing is, our salon, we see about 900 to 1,200 clients a week, depending on the week. And again, clients become our family. We become their family.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So our job is to make them look good and feel good. all the time, even during the corona, even during COVID-19. And that's why, I didn't care that I was getting backlash about the at-home kits, because I was getting the text messages and the FaceTime of the women going, "Oh my God, thank you so much. I look human again." And, my
Right.
grandmother, she lived to 97 years old. And I say this on HSN all the time, that she always said, when my hair looks good, I feel good. Right.
Yep.
So,
Absolutely.
it's a win-win for everybody. And we're going to open up, and we're going to open up strong. And these clients are going to walk in with the piano playing and the chandeliers, and they're going to feel like they're somewhere else. And
Yes.
they're just going to be like, wow, instead of sitting home, writing nasty messages to the Governor Murphy and all that stuff, let's get the salon ready. Let's get the salon ready.
I think we're all going to feel like that. It's going to be like a renaissance when we're able to like get out
Yes.
again,
Yes.
and be free. Because I mean, obviously we're all taking this very seriously. We need to, because I think there's so much we still don't know yet. And we're learning. And until we really do have all the facts and everything, it's very important to take care of ourselves, that's no way to go, as far as I'm concerned,
It's, you just have to be busy. And look, again, it was around Easter time. Actually, it was Passover. And, I had heard about United Hatzalah, which is a nonprofit in Israel. And in 2 hours, we raised enough money to buy an ambulance for Israel, to save lives in Israel. So, it wasn't me. It was a lot of people that got involved and thought it was cool. Easter, I challenged people, go find somebody that can't go out of their house because of COVID-19, or maybe that they're living by themselves. Plant a flower in front of their house. Send me a picture on Facebook. I'm going to pick a winner, and the first one that does it gets a tug and curl. Within 10 minutes, one of our clients, Donna Guzzo, planted a garden for her neighbor. Literally, she must have already had the flowers. Planted this little garden, and I was like, wow. But guess what? Donna felt like $1 million, and then other people started doing it. Yeah. So if you're in a rut right now, I can tell you the only way to get out of it is to do something good, because we're not opening anytime soon. So if you need to pick me up, pick somebody else up, and in return, you're going to be back to feeling a little bit better.
Absolutely. It's definitely important to just initiate sometimes. And then, like you said, other people get excited, other people help you. You're all doing something together. It's a great thing, I know one of the things that we've encouraged a lot of like wig salons, hair salons, whatever, is to do online consultations, and to have owners, like, maybe you're talking to someone and, using pictures and going through colors, and you can still help, even though you're not necessarily like face to face with somebody. There's other ways to do it. And it's, like you thought about the hair color. It's other ways, just kind of thinking out of the box a little bit and saying, all right, well, how can I do something else, or how can I make this work? And, sometimes my mom used to say, necessity is the mother of invention. Well, she didn't say it, but someone else said, but she repeated it a lot.
Of course.
but it's true. New situations force you to think of things in new ways. And then I think different things are always born out of that,
It's definitely the silver lining.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think it's going to be a great day when we can all open up and we can all get to doing what we do best. And that is, working with people and, making their day and practicing our craft. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it's about.
Eileen Scholes said, "I'll never be able to get an appointment with you. You'll be so busy." Eileen, you'll definitely be on my VIP list of clients to call. So she was the secretary in the school that I went to when I was 16 for hair school. And when I used to cut class, she would let me hide in her office if I French braided her hair. So we have a bond from when I'm 16. So Eileen, don't worry, you'll definitely be one of the ones to get it.
Oh my gosh, that is great. Yeah, and you know what? And tell her, Martina, there's no point of her going to the salon down the street as if she would even think about it, because they're going to be busy too.
That's right. We're all be busy. That's right.
Everyone's going to be busy. Everyone's going to be busy.
But I'm definitely working 7 days a week for the first few weeks that we're open. Is when I'm not on HSN, I'm going to be here 7 days a week, just like back in the beginning when I first opened in '98.
Right. So you kind of, you have certain days that you're always there unless something comes up, or is that like,
usually I'm only here Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, but it's 12-hour days.
Right.
Because I'm always either at HSN or I'm at our office in Great Neck with Horizon Beauty. But with HSN, you just never know. But now that we're doing HSN via Skype, who knows how long that's going to be? That's been great. It's been so much fun. The hosts have been great. The viewers have been great. Everybody's happy. They're getting what they want. We're not having to leave our own home. I mean, I'm doing it from my kitchen. It's so weird.
Right. Well,
smelling my hairspray in my kitchen.
Right. And and this is what I was saying before too. Like I think a lot of people should think about the idea of reaching out to your customers. If you have a shop, whatever, what do you need? What is it you've been looking for? Have these little meetings and I can get it to you. Much like I think why the shopping television is doing well because of that, because people can't get out. So if you as a salon owner, you as a wig shop owner, whatever it is that you do, if you can reach those customers and give them a call, get that database together, reach out to them on social media and say, I'm here. I'm not in my place of business right now, but I'm here and I certainly can help you out. What do you need?
We're even mailing gift certificates now for Mother's Day, for for kids that can't or don't want to go visit their parents because they're older and maybe they're not computer savvy and don't want an emailed gift certificate. We just sent out a Salon Cloud alert and a demand force alert, and the phone lines have been ringing nonstop. And that's why I unplugged 4 of them because I knew we were going to be on this call. But we're going to be shipping them. We're going to send them tomorrow. My son's coming in, and we're just going to be mailing them and mailing them and mailing them and mailing them.
Right.
You just have to be creative. Again, only the strong survive. We're not going to die. The world's not coming to an end. Jesus isn't coming tomorrow. So let's just make the best of it, We got
a little time, Martino. We got a little time before Jesus comes. We're good?
Definitely we have time. Definitely got time.
Well, like you were saying about the gift certificate. So last week we put out, HairUWear did a gift voucher that we pre-printed. Our wonderful Jasmina and our wonderful design team, Dania, they're such great gals. We still have some people that are working on keeping business going.
So cool.
So what we did was like the restaurants or you can go to Costco and get them where it's like, you can fill this out and give it whatever value you want. So let's say your customer would buy it for, $40, but you'll honor it as a $60 value.
Got like a Groupon almost.
Almost, exactly. And so it's already pre-printed and anyone can just go through. This is would be for any HairUWear product. So anyone could just go to their regular sales rep and just say, can you send me the image or the digital download? I think that's what they call it, right? And I could download it and I can print them and you can give these to your customers, which is a great idea. And so obviously, see, you're on the same wavelength. You're doing the same thing.
Well, and my team like Jamie and Carmela, yesterday, my girlfriend Jana, she says to me, shampoo and conditioner for $20. I went, what? I went, that's less than cost. So they're doing it just for like a marketing, like putting so much out there. They did this whole thing on social media and on the website. It's like this huge sale. It's really a promotion just to put it out there.
Right.
And I mean, I think they've already sold all their quantities, but but you can go to martinocartier.com to look at what they did. But my point is that again, you have to just be creative. If we spend a couple $1,000s over the course of this time, but it's giving people something affordable and it's also getting your name out there, it's a win for everybody.
Well, and you know what? Exactly right. I mean, and I think you're kind of like Martino in a lot of ways. I think your motto is, give a little, get a little. And, I think we have to look at that sometimes, we have to say, okay, I'm going to give a little bit here because I'm going to get it back in different ways, or the old adage, half a loaf is better than no loaf. So,
well, you know what? Look, I know this isn't a religious meeting or anything, but there's laws like we talked about before. What goes up, what comes down. I always grew up believing that when you give, it comes back, pressed down, shaken together, running over. It's like a proverb. And like I said, I know it's not a religious time for us right now to be talking about God, but every religion has the same basic story either in the Bible, in the Torah, and in the Quran. And it's the only time where God says to test him in your giving and see if I will not pour out from heaven that your vats overflow. So it's a common denominator. When you give, it comes back, pressed down. That's not why you give. God loves a joyful giver. But, it should be your inspiration. That's true, by the way.
Well, listen, it's true. I mean, and we were saying, we started the hour saying that, yes, this is about giving. It's about giving back to your customers. And that's what makes you feel good. And that's where you get joy from. And I think if that becomes the philosophy, I really don't think you will ever be disappointed. Yes, we have hard times, right? I mean,
that sums it up. That literally sums it up. And I'm telling you again, it's like I've always said, the drawback of the bow is what drives the arrow. So if you don't have a setback, there's nothing to push you forward. So sometimes we get so complacent that we need little shakeups like this.
a little
right?
adjustment.
A little adjustment, a little something to not let us be a pigeon, right? No more
Right.
pigeons, be eagles.
Right.
So
Right.
I think I don't care what you do. You know that story of the guy that was giving the speech, and he said, "If you want to change the world, start by making your bed." You hear that video?
Yes,
So
yes.
it's like I don't care what you do, just do something. Like you don't have to send a kid to Disney. You don't have to do something that costs thousands of dollars. You could literally go buy a $5 plant and put it on your neighbor's front porch and put thinking of you during COVID-19. That's what I did for the old lady that lives next to me that screams at me every time I park 10 feet from her mailbox.
Right.
It's easy to do something to someone who is so nice to you. Try to do
Right.
something for someone that gets under your skin a little bit. That's even more challenging. But guess what?
It's true.
Now she's so sweet now. So sweet, my little lady neighbor now.
And you
Like,
gave
I
a little
did.
bit of your time. And sometimes if
Yeah.
if you have nothing else to give a little time. I mean,
Yeah.
and that's, look, that's why I'm so thankful for you for sharing your time. I know, and that's the reason why we did this HairUWear Cares too, is just we're all kind of dealing with stuff, to sit down, to take some time out of our day and to talk about it, and share a little bit. And so I was saying, last week we gave away a voucher. HairUWear gave a voucher. This week we're giving all our viewers some social media posts that they can do. What we're saying is that every month, HairUWear sends the retailers like photos, and they can create 10 social posts with these photos. So we're giving you marketing materials that you can use on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and you can use these however you want. Because Martino, you have a lot of images. You have a lot of people you work with and events you go to. You got a ton of images. But for someone else who's at home, they might not have these images to use as marketing materials.
I think that's great. That's a great way for some of you that have not posted a lot on social media to take those images and use it, and be creative. George Simone is watching right now, and George Simone is a very brilliant man, and he has been a part of HSN and QVC for many years.
Mm-hmm.
And he roasted somebody one time at a gala for HSN, and he was like, the ingredient here, comes from a planet that has a platinum core, and the trees actually grow diamonds. And he was teasing because this product was so perfect and it had every healing ingredient. But I learned something from George Simone. Obviously you don't want anything to be fake, and you want things to be real, but you want to be as descriptive as possible. So if you don't have a lot of images, this is great that HairUWear is giving you images. You can take images from the Martino by Martino Cartier page. You can take them from our salon, our personal page. We want people, we want to grow together in this industry, which is why I think it's so brilliant that so many of our salons in New Jersey have come together with one team, one cord, and you should do that no matter what state you're in. You should get some of the bigger salons, get them together so that you can be on the same page, how you're going to reopen, how you're going to keep your staff, at ease, during this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, and it's great. So you don't have images, you don't have a photographer. Hey, we got images for you. Take what you want. We'll put your business name on it. We'll put the phone numbers on there. And
that's great.
And, and then also, I want to tell everybody out there, if you guys do that before I forget, remember to tag HairUWear, or anything that's related to the brand, because then I guess the way this algorithm works is it boosts your post. If you tag HairUWear, it boosts it like exponentially. So you get more visibility, you get a bigger reach. And we thought that it would be something that we could do for people who don't have access to regular marketing materials. So like you, Martino.
Wait, I'm laughing at somebody. Somebody said, I remember Martino when he was a whippersnapper. Whew.
Well, I would love to hear
Remember
stories
that?
about that, Martino.
I'm scared. I'm scared when I'll tell you, I hope you can't hear what people say when you die, when they're at your funeral. God only knows the stories people will be sharing.
Oh my gosh. It'll be very colorful, yours, I presume.
I told my mother, I said, God forbid I die during COVID. Don't you dare have a 10-person funeral. I will haunt you for the rest of your life. I stick me in a freezer until this thing is over because I want a marching band. I want horses. I want contortionists, people on
You want a
stilts.
parade. You want a parade,
want-
Martino.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, what the heck? You know what? You should get what you want and you deserve it. So, you know,
Thanks,
go
thanks,
for
thanks.
it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so listen, I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to come here and share with us, to share it with our viewers, and to share your experience and your life and just everything that you go through, because you know it's always great to have an example, and you provide a great example for people of what is possible, and that it doesn't take magic to do it. It just takes a little effort and it just takes a little care. So thank you so much for that.
My pleasure. My pleasure. It takes a lot of dedication and it takes never giving up. And let me tell you something. I have fallen on my face 100 times, but I've got up 101. So
Yep.
you can do the same thing. And you know, when I'm on Home Shopping Network selling my own brand, the Martino brand, or if I'm on doing the Hair You Wear with Gabor, I always give out my email address, and not another email address that's like in another phone, in another car, in another dresser drawer.
Right.
No, to this phone. And why do I do that? I remember the first time I gave my email out on HSN. You should have seen the producer's eyes and the cameraman and everybody. They're like, "Is he nuts?" And
Right.
then
Natural
it was like,
reaction.
yeah, of course, just like selling at-home colored kits and Jello shots, right? Until the emails started coming in of these stories of, you know, my husband passed away and I've never gotten over it. And my hair's been in a ponytail for the last 2 years. And you were so entertaining. I think I'm ready to like start looking like myself again. Now I realize that my life has a purpose. I'm not just a hairdresser who didn't go to college,
Right,
who barely
right.
graduated high school. I am a proud hairdresser who's changing lives each and every day. And if that's how you embrace this gift that God's given you as a hairdresser, your life will change, your world will change. So start by making your
Absolutely.
bed, start by giving out your email address. Don't be afraid to let your clients text you. Yes, some of them are crazy, but so are we. You know, you have
Well said.
you have to own it. How bad do you want it? You know,
Yeah.
I know we have to end, but there was a story that says, hold on, I can't read this message and talk to you at the same time. There was, oh, you're very welcome. There was a story about a kid who wanted to be successful and he just couldn't. Every time he tried, he hit a dead end after dead end after dead end. So he hired this life coach, and the life coach wanted him to meet at Ocean City, which is an hour and a half south of me. And there's this elephant called Lucy the elephant. It's this big pink elephant, and there's like a bar there, and everybody knows it. But that's where this kid was to meet this life coach. So he wants to meet at 5 a.m. So he gets there, and nobody's there. This guy's pissed. He paid him already. He's like, another dead end, and I got beat. And he's so mad, and he's like, hello? And the guy's like, I'm over here. The guy was in the water. It's dark out, and he's in the water. There's sharks in that water. You couldn't have paid me to go in that water. And the guy said, follow me. And the kid is thinking to himself, this guy must be a lunatic. But he's like, what do I got to lose? He's in jeans and his Nikes, and he walks in the water. And as he walks, the man gets further and further back. It's a true story. You can look it up on YouTube. And when they finally get pretty much chin to chin, the man says, close your eyes. Listen to the sound of the dawn. Listen to the waves crashing. Just relax for a minute. Let everything go. And when the kid closed his eyes, the man dunked him underwater. Could you imagine? I would have been jersey on him real quick.
Yeah.
And this kid is fighting to breathe because now he's scared. He's fighting to breathe. He's fighting to survive. And he finally breaks free. And he's ready to like knock this man out. And the man says to him, when you want to be successful, as bad as you want to breathe, that's when you'll be successful. This lesson's over. And that, I have shared that story for probably 15 years. And every time I say it, it still makes my hair stand up because I know that is so true. No matter what career you're in, no matter what walk of life you're in, no matter where you come from, I couldn't even pay for my lunch in second grade of school. I couldn't, we couldn't, we were that poor, you know, which is why I told you what we're doing for the graduating class. You know, 550 kids are going to get McDonald's, 550 kids are going to get Chick-fil-A, 550 kids are going to get all these things, hopefully Geno's Steaks too in Philadelphia. So we're just giving them, you know, my business partner, Robert Crames, he's donating to all the girls a bottle of Kim Kardashian perfume. You don't know if you don't ask. And that all happened today. It all happened today.
Yeah.
And we're going to be stuck in the house for a while. So use your time wisely.
Yes.
Use your time to make a difference in your life and in the lives around you.
Yeah. So good. Thank you, Martino. On behalf of HairUWear, on behalf of everyone, hairdressers everywhere, thank you for sharing your stories. Thank you for sharing your time. And this was really great. So
my pleasure. And if anybody ever needs any advice or any help within the hair industry or cancer industry or cancer world, whatever, feel free to email Martino at martinocartier.com. It goes right to my pocket. That's my sound clip from HSN.
There you go.
It's always a pleasure. Give my love to everyone at HairUWear. Thank you for all the years of helping me help cancer patients and for even promoting my Martino brand and everything else that you all do at HairUWear. I love you guys very much. So thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Martino.
You're welcome, guys. Take care.
Bye, guys. Thanks for watching, everyone.